Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name is Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are Good Rookie.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show. Yep. What's going on, everybody? As you know, we're your hosts coming to you direct from Toronto, Canada, the 6th. And we always bring you the hottest topics, as you don't know, in sports and culture. And again, this week is no different. We have a new World Cup queens, you know what I'm saying? Spain took care of business, you know what I'm saying? They're the champs. We got Coco Gauff winning her first ATP today. Listen, man, the thing set up, you know, of course, Novak won his. He triumphed today, but I'm happy for Coco, man. Coco was in the finals, I think, right in the US Open. And then now she went to the finals, won in straight sets today for him in Cincinnati. So big up to Coco Gauff for her first chip, I guess.
Nice. I didn't know about Coco Gauff, so you just dropped the bomb. Yeah. That's big. That's big. Rooting for her, most def. Starting another episode with shout outs once again.
I know. I couldn't help it. I just had to listen, man. Like, you know, because like literally the World Cup happened today. Coco Gauff won, and then the Sun clinched their WNBA. It's just like so much happening. Like
you're just gonna go through.
And the preseason, man, it's a lot going on. I'm sorry, but you know what? I want to start off with some, you know, some highlights. You know what I'm saying? Some highlights before we get into the confusion.
Right. So we'll call it the confusion. So the 2024 first year eligibles for the NBA, sorry, I shouldn't say the NBA. Let me wear that back. The Basketball Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. So these are ones who get they're eligible in their first year for 2024 to get into the Basketball Hall of Fame. There's 6 names here. Like you said, confusion. Here we go. Vince Carter, Jamal Crawford, Kyle Korver, Jakeem Noah, Tyson Chandler, and J.J. Barrera.
Wow.
I'll pass.
I feel like I was just going to go with absurd.
Absurd. So hold up. So we started off with a shout out and we're starting off with an absurd topic. This is crazy, y'all. Good Rookies is backwards. Back, forth and forth. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So let's go with, since I'm going to say more to that Reddit. Okay. Vince Carter, most definitely, I think that's a first ballot. First time eligible.
Do you think it's the first ballot?
Really? Oh, okay.
You know what? Okay, so you know why? Like for me, I think as Toronto fans, we may think that. I'm just wondering if like non-Raptor fans have the same energy because remember, like in Toronto, it was Vinsanity, right? It was huge. Like he pretty much helped propel the basketball, you know, lifestyle for a lot of the kids growing up, especially for us growing up back in 2000. Like he kind of came here. I mean, I remember Faheem, they were showing hockey over Vince Carter games. Like we back then when he was playing here, Faheem, we weren't even getting every Raptor game on TV, right? So I think for us who saw the transformation of what he did in Toronto, but I'm just curious, like when he went to the other team, like the Nets and so forth, I wonder if they have that same energy that we have Vince Carter for them, right? In terms of playoff success and so forth. So, I mean, if Vince Carter gets inducted, I won't be mad at it. But I'm just curious. I guess for me, it's like I wonder what people think that aren't, you know, Raptor fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it is the Basketball Hall of Fame. So he played at North Carolina. He didn't win a championship at Carolina, but he was still a very big name in college. You're right, but I think even from in the United States, when they look at Vince Carter, they recognize what he's done for putting like everything you mentioned. Yeah. That's what I think people in the States would recognize. Like, you know, even KD, when he was young in high school, you know, he had a Vince Carter jersey and he was a Raptors fan. Because, like, I mean, Vince Carter put us on the map. And I don't think he just put us on the map for just us, but I think for the basketball community, even in the States. So I think that people give him that respect. Even when he went to New Jersey, they didn't win in New Jersey, but he played with Jason Kidd. I think Vince Carter, his name is pretty much solidified. I would think he's on this list for me. He's the only one that I think is a first ballot.
First ballot.
But let's
yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Like, I love your point that it's basketball Hall of Fame and not just NBA. And just as you said that, I'm like, yeah, like even if you're not a Vince Carter a Raptor fan, you saw him in college. He was very good in college. Like you saw him in high school. Like he was
also the Olympics. Keep in mind the Olympics also.
Yes,
right.
I was gonna say the Olympics. So yeah, putting that all perspective, I got it. Now, okay, who we got next on this list? Because I may have
All right, so Jamal Crawford.
I honestly, he's someone that I think is on the cusp, but Faheem, we didn't mention the other guys that have qualified but haven't gotten in yet that I think might get a nod.
Run that list.
So that list is Larry Faust, Chauncey Billups, Sean Marion, Amir Stoudemire, and Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp maybe, depending on, I mean, if it's basketball Hall of Fame, but yeah, those are the guys that apparently, according to Basketball Reference.
Can you run again? You start with Chauncey Billups was one. I think for sure he would get in before anyone on this list. Okay, go ahead.
So Larry Faust. So Larry Faust, he played back in he's early days, but he was someone that Basketball Reference said has a higher chance because he's been eligible, but he played 12 seasons for the Pistons, right? And as a Laker. He did average, like his points weren't crazy back then, like 6 rebounds, whatever, but he's someone that people think are not in the Hall of Fame, but he was a dominant big man in the early days of the league, 6'9" center. So a lot of people have him as a higher chance than even Chauncey to get in. And he's someone that every year has not gotten in yet. So since it's an off year next year, he might get in because a lot of the older cats felt that as a big man who dominated for Pistons and the Lakers, before the Lakers went to LA, a lot of people do feel, I don't because I didn't watch him play live, but a lot of the old heads have him there. Chauncey Billups, like you mentioned, you think I think Chauncey should get in. I'm a fan of Chauncey, Faheem. Sean Marion, though, he's someone that hasn't gotten in yet. And Amir Stoudemire.
Amari
Stoudemire,
and Sean Kemp. And Sean Kemp, so I think, so Amari Stoudemire, when I look at this list, I put Amari Stoudemire before anyone on this list also. Sean Kemp, I would definitely put before anyone on this list.
Me too, for basketball, my basketball Hall of Fame. So. But I do like Jamal Crawford. He's the only one. If he gets in, the fact that what's the boy got in from the Spurs, 6 man, he got in. So I'm like, Jamal Crawford should get in too. If they're gonna get
from the Spurs, not Ginobili.
Ginobili got in. So Ginobili can get in. Jamal Crawford should get in too. I'm sorry. Jamal Crawford has how many? 3 6 man of the years?
Of course. So Jamal Crawford, I think you're right. He's the one on the cusp. But then, so let's get to the kind of absurds. Kyle Korver, Joakim Noah, Tyson Chandler, and JJ Barea. So I'm wondering why JJ Barea on this list. I'm like, he played basketball. I'm pretty sure he played for Puerto Rico or Dominican, one of those smaller islands.
He did.
So it could be maybe they're looking from an international perspective.
But it's still basketball Hall of Fame, even in Europe. Like, is he a Hall of Fame? Like, again, playing for Puerto Rico, get that. You're correct, right? That's big. Yeah. But in college, his college career, they said that, like, as a junior, he ranked 2nd in the America East and 8th in the country in scoring. So he did average 22.2 points per game. And he had 7 assists, which was the 5th in nation assists at the time. So his college isn't awful. And he led Northeastern and finished 3rd in nation assists, 8 assists. And he was named an All-America by the AP Press Player of the Year. So, like, he has a lot of college accolades for him. 8 assists averaging, led Northeastern, finished 3rd in the nation. He was 19th in the nation for scoring. He also was named a finalist for the Bob Cousy Award. Like, like he has the college career. He got that. But in terms of professional, that's where, I mean, he wasn't drafted, right? But he did play for Timberwolves for 3, Dallas for 6. So he had a 10-year career, which is above average, right? The average career is 4 years in the NBA. He did coach, but is going in as a player, right? And he's the champion. He won 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks, right? So and he does have a FIBA World Cup top scorer. I feel like he won't get in this ballot though. I don't think he's good enough to get in this ballot, but I think he's someone that like he might get in on an off year, but I don't think it'll be the year coming up. I think that the Sean Kemps and other guys we named, I think they have a better, Chauncey Billups, they have a better argument over him personally. But his overall basketball career isn't as bad as, actually, you look at it, okay, it's not as bad as you think it is, but.
Okay, so you made a decent case somewhat for JJ Barea. Why is Kyle Korver on this list?
So I feel like for Kyle Korver, and here's the argument for Kyle Korver. They say that, and again, I don't think he should even be in a Hall of Famer, because that's just not. But he did average 42% from beyond the arc, right? Which back in the day, that's huge. He has 17 NBA seasons under his belt, right? He was a specialist, of course, in the 3-point percentage. That's a 3-point shooter. He ranks 5th for him in NBA history for 3-pointers. He's 5th overall.
And makes what percentage?
42.9%.
Oh, sorry, percentage. His percentage is top 5 in history.
No, but his career 3-pointers ranks in 5th.
When you say his career 3-pointers, are you talking his makes that he's made? Like
yes,
the amount
3-pointers. He's made over 2,450 career 3-pointers, and that's 5th in NBA history. We know Steph is number 1, right? But yeah, he's 5th in NBA history. So I mean, again, will he get in right now? But there's an argument. I wouldn't put him first ballot, because I think there's other guys that haven't gotten in that I think should get in. But like 5th overall NBA history, he's a 3-point specialist, right? And like, to your point, he's not flashy, but if it's basketball Hall of Fame, right, in college, like that's a specialist, right? Shooting. He's one of the best shooters. I mean, 40.9 from the 3. It's freaking crazy for career wise. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to your point, like, is he first ballot? No, he's not. Like, first ballot is Dwayne Wade's, like those guys. He's not on that level, to your point, Faheem. He's not top 5 in his position. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he should be first ballot. I really don't.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
So on the way out of this, give me a prediction. How many of these are eligible? Because there's like 5 names. How many are going to get?
Well, there's one more that's going to get. Marvin Williams. He's also eligible. He averaged 12 points, 5 rebounds.
Marvin
Williams.
No, I just want to make sure. There's a Marvin Williams that played for North Carolina, but that can't be him. No, do I got my names wrong?
So Marvin Williams, so he played North Carolina. He did. That same one.
Hold on.
He's eligible next year too.
What?
Marvin.
Okay, I gotta look. Did you pull this up already?
So his career average.
Let me guess this. No, hold on. Let me. Career average. I'm going with. It's got to be maybe 10 points a game.
How much?
10.
10. Okay. And how much rebounds do you think?
Average for it's a career, right?
Yeah, we could do career. It's fine.
Okay, fine. I'll give him 4 boards and 9.7.
You're close. So he averaged his career wise 10.2. His rebounding was 5.2.
5.2.
Yeah. But from the 3, he shot 36 from 3, which is actually pretty good for a big,
since you have it there, I'm going with the years. Marvin Williams, I'm giving him 8 years.
Yeah, actually, he played more than 8. So actually, hold on. Let me see, because I'm sorry. So from 2005 to 2020, so 15 years he played.
15.
And at his peak, he was averaging 12 and 5 point something in rebounds. In the playoffs, though, the numbers went down. His best playoffs was 1 season. And in college, like you said, he averaged 11 points, and 6 points, 6
Incredible.
rebounds.
Marvin Williams is eligible.
So he should not. He's eligible, but he should not be getting it.
Okay, well, I mean, open the floodgate. Everyone's eligible. Now. Everyone.
He should, but he's also on the article about. So again, like so closing out the people. I think Vince, Jamal Crawford, yep, those two, and then Chauncey. I'm cool with Amari. I'm cool with Sean Marion. Larry Faust, like they're saying he's a 94%, like an over 90% chance of getting in next year because of.
I'll rock with that. I don't know much of anything about him, but
yeah, he's a dominant big back in like early days, like black and white, like foggy. And then Sean Kemp. But I'll take all those guys over the guys we just listed that's eligible now. Jamal Crawford and Vince Carter. Joakim Noah, like him, but yeah, no. Sorry, sir. You're a great defender, 2-time All-Star. He made an All-NBA team. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty dope. But first time ballot, no. But he did win a back-to-back title in college with Florida Gators, 06-07. Right. So that is pretty. And also,
pretty most recently, he's an ambassador for Basketball Africa League.
Yes, he is. So that's what I'm saying. Like his college career might give him a little push, but I think Chauncey over him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways.
All right, we'll see how this plays out.
Yes.
Nelly J. Let's hit that. Let's go to For the Culture.
Wow, we're doing that's absurd. We're doing 3 segments, guys. That's absurd. No. For the culture, we'd like to highlight folks for the culture. And today, y'all, we get to highlight a company that is launching an amazing program. And when I saw this, Faheem, I know we both were very inspired and love that they're doing this. Boeing, y'all. Yes, Boeing. For those who don't know, they are in the pilot aviation business, right? Most planes, the Boeing 24 whatever and all this stuff, they do a lot of stuff in the air, right? Pilot aviations, you name it. They're launching for him a 1 million scholarship program to train pilots from minority communities. Okay. So big up Tennessee Tribune for talking about this. They're working to make carriers and aviation accessible. So with this new scholarship, they're aiming to train pilots from unrepresented communities. So Black Enterprise reported that the aerospace giant is set to launch $1 million scholarship with this new initiative for him to funnel a much needed resources for organizations that are doing the groundwork right now, right? And this will be split into 2 parts as well. So Faheem, I think it's so dope because first of all, I know of one pilot that's of I know one pilot specifically that is a pilot for a plane, and he's of minority descent, one in Canada. And when you look at the numbers of how many pilots are pilots around the world, Faheem, can you guess how many pilots are of Black descent?
Like percentage?
Yeah, percentage of all pilots.
All pilots around the world.
Black or African descent. Yeah.
I'm going to go with 3%.
Yep. 2.2. Oh. 2.2. Asian is 2.5. Hispanic or Latino is 5.2. And Indian or Alaska Native 0.3. Very minimal, right? In Air Canada, they have 30 Black pilots right now, and only 7 are captains. So, yeah. So it's something where we really have to. I like that Boeing, that's a leader in aviation for him. The fact that they're pushing this, I think is really cool. And I think it's something that where they're like, hey, we want to have more diversity in this business, because it's been a predominantly white, business, right? In terms of pilot aviation and so forth. So this investment will be broken into 2 organizations. So half of it will be going to the Organization of Black Aerospace Professionals, Sisters of the Skies, and Women in Aviation International, Aircraft Owners and Pilot Association, and the Latina Pilot Association as well. So they will also be awarding 25 scholarships to various candidates through the help of each organization. Part I think it's really awesome for him. Like, I'm like, yo, this is like really intentional. They're supporting the folks that are actually already doing the work now. They're going to be funding flight training. And y'all, flight training is expensive. Like, Faheem is the reason why they're doing this. Flight training is hell expensive. Even to be a pilot, I think the complete certain amount of hours of actually flying in the air to become a pilot. And sometimes to get into those doors, it's hard to get a plane, get a company to actually sponsor you during that training. It's a lot of work. I actually read a novel about flights and aviation. I was like, damn, this is expensive to even go into this field, right? So to date, Boeing has actually already committed, Faheem, $8.5 million to pilot training programs to these communities across the nation already. And Essence reported this as well. So I think this is dope. I'm loving this. Faheem, what's your thoughts on Boeing really taking leadership and wanting to be intentional and making sure that they're targeting minority communities to become pilots?
Well, you touched upon all the points that I was actually thinking I would ask. The one I want to maybe get clarification on, because you mentioned when they're distributing the money. You mentioned sisters or there's something to do with women and minorities. Do you remember the
yeah? So there's two. There's Sisters of the Sky. That's one organization,
right?
And there's Women in Aviation International. So half the money is going. So with those 5 groups, they're going to be awarded with scholarships for various candidates amongst those organizations, and the other half is going to Fly Compton. That's at LA based nonprofit supporting minority youth interested in aviation careers. So the money's being split between the aviation career, Fly Compton, and the others being split amongst those groups I mentioned that will be helping candidates to get full scholarships to help them, get through flight training and so forth.
Because I was just wondering, is it air stewardesses?
Flight attendants? Flight attendants.
Is that
they're called flight attendants. Yeah.
No, I know they're flight attendants, but air stewardess. Okay, I don't know why I've thought of air stewardesses.
It's okay. You're watching a 1920s show. That's okay.
So flight attendants. I was wondering if why wouldn't extend it to flight attendants who are already in the field, because you figure if they're already, it's like I feel minorities are already represented as flight attendants. So I figure if they already show an interest in flying somewhat, why maybe they wouldn't look to people who already are, it's like you work for a company and then you kind of internally give those opportunities, right? So I wonder if they
probably have both. Yeah, you've heard of flight attendants becoming pilots, and vice versa. It's just that it's a new career path. And you gotta go back to school and you gotta do training, and you have to have the money to pay for these things, right? It's not free. The training is not free. It's really expensive. That's why a lot of times you have to have like someone to sponsor you, or a company that says, okay, we will sponsor your training to fly with us as a pilot, right? So that's what it is. Like you mentioned, they're like, I think I saw something about the first National Guard for a state in America is a Black woman that just announced this month. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's rare to see women of color, men of color, being in this area. So I love that they're trying to target these groups from the youth. So they have the youth program, and they're having the ones that already have organizations out there that are going to help maybe adults, like you said, people who are in the field to become that. So I think they're targeting both ends of the spectrum for sure.
Oh, that's smart. Shout out to Boeing.
Yeah. Shout out to Boeing. Thank you, y'all. I hope to see more companies doing this in other industries and verticals, not just in aviation, but just wanted to give them a special shout out because I think this is really dope. And again, if you or someone you know wants to go into aviation, go into flight attendant or be a pilot, there are now resources available. So please check out Boeing, check out these organizations I listed out, and see if you can apply and get in there, because that'd be dope. Obviously, very dope.
Great topic, Nelly J. Great topic.
No problem.
All right. So let's close out this episode with That's Absurd.
That's absurd. Faheem, bro, what was absurd this week? What was absurd? Ah.
The movie Blindsided won an Oscar.
Man. Mm-hmm.
Very well-known movie from the early 2000s. Had Sandra Bullock playing the mother of, or the adopted mother, we'll say, ironically, of Micheal Oher. Sorry, Micheal Oher, he played for the Patriots for many years. Come to find out that the movie, how do I close out this absurd, Nelly J? Because it's from, so
it turned out that they really didn't adopt the kid. They actually have him signed over his conservatorship, whatever. So we thought he was adopted by the family and they brought him in, but no, the paper that he signed wasn't adoption papers for him. That's what's absurd. He found out legit like a few weeks ago. He found out that this was the case. Absurd. Imagine like you think you were adopted by a family and you're like, hold on, this isn't adoption papers.
Also, the family, so like I started with, Blindsided won an Oscar. The family,
the blind side.
What did I say? Sorry, the
Blindsided. It's a whole different movie. if I look up Blindsided, the movie, but probably something else, yo. You know what I'm saying?
So the Blind Side won an Oscar. The parents, or the adopted parents, had an agreement with the production company, or the ones who are putting out the movie, to get percentages from the movie, only to find out that none of that money is being funneled down to Micheal.
The actual talent.
Yeah, right. The actual person of the story. It was staying within the family. So the family was actually robbing him blind financially.
Wow.
And also emotionally by not doing right by his adoptive papers. And also, apparently the story that the way the movie goes, you know, he befriended the son in high school, came and lived with them. They said, while you're living with us, you can be our son. That part of the story is not even true, according to Micheal Oher. He's saying that he was staying at many different people's homes, and it wasn't until the very end that he actually stayed with them that they said, okay, let's take you in. So there's a lot of things with the story. They're making themselves seem like it was more of like a good Samaritan type deal, but there's nothing good about this at all.
Exactly. What's even disturbing is that they signed away his story rights without payment. Hello? And the earnings were like very modest. Like, what's crazy? This family's worth $100 million right now. I think they said like the actual family is now their net worth, they said, is in the millions. So they're worth 100 million right now. Combined net worth. Yeah, rent him up his money, yo. Rent up his money. Because they made millions of dollars from royalties from the film, right? And he received nothing. Like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Absurd, Faheem. Like, man, like, if I'm him, get my lawyer. And if I'm a lawyer for him, oh my God, this is a juicy case. You signed away his story. You took his story, created your own story, based it off of him, and give him nothing for it. For him, he's gonna be making all the money back that they got. Listen, they'll be owing him money now for the rest of their lives, and I love this. Right. So I hope they run up his money, get all the money back, and also it just shows again that like the fact that I think they said now they're gonna give up his conservatorship. They said that they're going to terminate it now. Bruh, how old is this guy now, Faheem? Really? Like, so what? If he didn't bring it up, y'all wouldn't have, like, you know what I'm saying, Faheem? Like, what? If he kept quiet, y'all wouldn't give him nothing? You know what I'm saying? This is so absurd to me, Faheem. Like, wow. It's like he's a grown man now, and now all of a sudden now, okay, we'll give it up. Nah, man, y'all trifling as hell. This guy's 37 years old. Absurd.
The movie was designed to be inspirational.
Exactly.
You know? Like, it's not just a movie on his life. Like, people actually seen and drew inspiration from the story.
Agreed.
You know,
They did. Kids did. Kids, adults, everyone did. It's a beautiful story. I teared up. I love the sentiment of it. So apparently Sandra Bullock, that character wasn't real. She played a fictional character because clearly the story was fictional for him. It wasn't accurate. And it sucks because they signed away his story rights. Huh? Listen, man. I'm mad for him. But don't worry, he'll get his money back. He'll get his money back. No judge will be like, oh, O'Hare family, you guys are correct. You know what I'm saying? Like what they did, they took advantage of a kid. Took advantage of a kid. Right. So I hope they really did. And for him in real life, he was blindsided. You're correct. It should be called Blindsided, the movie, the remix. You understand? Because it wasn't the blind side, because he was literally blindsided. Right. Mercy.
All right. Well, I agree with you. Hopefully he gets, paid, but also gets closure to the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, emotionally, like he doesn't want to be part of a family like this anyway. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So,
and I'm happy he called them out publicly too. Because typically you try to do it quietly. Nah, call them out. So when they go outside for him, guess what? We're all looking at them like side eye. We're like, you people that look at them come true here. You know what I'm saying? Call them out. Because the public shame, it will be more than enough for them to feel the pain. Like, bruh, y'all did that? Yo, imagine that's like your mom or like your friend. You're like, girl, listen for him, embarrass them. You understand? So I love that. Call them out publicly. Love it.
Yeah. All right. Jay, let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. So y'all, my shout out, I think I gave them a lot at the beginning, but I'm gonna rerun it again, right? Spain defeat England 1-0 World Cup. Is the first for him ever in history, right? And love it for them. So really, really dope. And of course, Sweden got the third seed, got third place. They defeated Australia. So, want to make sure we kind of highlight these ladies. The 2023-2024 NBA season, the schedule's out, guys. Shout out to that. Okay, schedule's out. I'm loving it. I hope everyone's excited. I think we're playing Faheem. We're playing the Philadelphia real quick. I think October. So Nick Nurse will be returning in Toronto, and I'm curious to see how the fans respond to him when he comes back. So that will be interesting. He
get a standing ovation. I don't think there's any bad blood with them.
Well, there shouldn't be bad blood, but Faheem, there's the Raptors have two fan bases, right? Yes. We got the older fans and we got the young ones that are like real gully. Jamal Murray announced that he's not playing for Team Canada for FIBA. He wants to obviously he wants to recover from, he had a very long season, first season back since injury, so he wants to recover and rest up. But Team Canada did beat Spain, and they beat they won both games this weekend. So big up to Team Canada, looking really well. Spain was, for him, was the last FIBA World Cup winners, right? Spain won it, and Team Canada beat them. Okay, so Canada looking real good. So big up to Team Canada, senior men's team. They're looking sharp, even without Jamal Murray. So yeah, I'm loving that. So yeah, big up to all those folks I just shouted out. You got it, Faheem.
No, you covered all the shout outs for us, so appreciate that. All right, let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time, please like and subscribe. And tell a friend, Faheem.
On all platforms, if you're looking for us, you know what it is. That's the Good Rookie Show. And we out.